like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. Alone in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. While you chase the crooks and I take the lead. Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no end, sight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Man, oh man, do we have an interesting one for you? Last night was so wonderful hanging out with the boys. No filings that I read. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was catching up on all the Karen Reed stuff though. That was my crazy weekend. Yeah, I was handling a lot of that over the weekend. Max Lab says, "Hey Shizzy, the judge has lost his mind." Oh, we're gonna touch on that a little bit tonight. Oh yeah, has he lost his mind, or is he doing things properly? I mean, that's the question. I mean, good job, Max. Thank you. And I do appreciate you keeping me updated. Let me know that there's new findings there. Every time I see one of those, I'm like, oh man, another one. Good to see you, Max. Good to see you. And we've got, oh, hey, welcome, Tuggers. Welcome. Man, all you fine people coming in, hanging out. It is crazy. Everyone go make sure to hit that thumbs up. That's right, Marie, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes. The judge is doing what he has to by the federal law. Well, maybe he is overstepped a little bit too. I mean, if you look, he's doing things that are a little, well, they're sort of improper. Like they're out of order in a sense. Because, he's told Randy not to file, and then whenever Randy doesn't file, then it sort of gets slammed up with a bunch of crazy stuff. But like I said, we're going to go over a little bit of that tonight. We do have an open letter. That open letter is going to come pretty early. And then I have another second open letter. That one's going to be a little more brutal, I think. Advertising for a lawyer. Oh yeah, advertising for a lawyer. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. The advertisement for a lawyer. I was just like, oh man. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Oh man. Well, we'll get started here because of course, as it came rolling in, the judge rolled in this order right here. Upon consideration of a foregoing, it's ordered this 21st day of April 2025. Defendant Bruce Manskin has filed a motion seeking 21 days to file a response to plaintiff's amended complaint. Doc number 27 for good cause shown. Defendant Manskin's motion is granted. So he's showing good cause why it should be given 21 days to respond. Now, if you saw his filing, it looked to me like it was a pretty solid filing, and I said that the night that it came out. I was like, yeah, I mean, it looks like, this might happen. And whenever I was talking with Yamaha, everything I said to him, privately, I pulled him aside, whenever we were talking, and I said, here's sort of my outlook of what's going to happen. This has to do with, you've got two pro se litigants, and the judge doesn't want to look mean and cruel. And it's a big possibility with the way that Bruce filed his that the judge might look at it and say, the amendment is only Helms, but you have to understand it is only Helms's. And that's only for what Helms filed. Now, you have to understand that this is the amended complaint is due 21 days after the amended complaint is filed. So once Randy files that amended complaint, they have 21 days to file a response from the time that he files that in there. And once it comes in, that clock starts ticking, and it starts ticking away pretty quickly. Now, the advertisement is over the top. Not really. I mean, there is a way that Randy could go about doing this. Randy could take multiple avenues of getting that actually overturned. There's ways he could do that to get that overturned. But that would require Randy to file something in federal court for that. And it may be that he doesn't want to. You've heard what Jeremy said, that he's wanting this to move on. He's wanting to get this show on the road. And so he may decide he doesn't want to file anything. Or he may file something tomorrow, next week. We don't know, because we're not involved in the court case. This is a court case, you have to remember, it is not between me. It's not between Tug. It's not between Megan. It's not between any of the people that are covering this. It doesn't involve anybody that isn't named in that lawsuit. We don't know what's going on with the attorneys, because we don't talk to them. We don't know what's going on with the judge's mind, because we don't talk to him. The judge could be thinking about something that none of us see. This is why he's a judge. I understand it, judge giving them a lawyer. He has to deal with Deuce, and saw the first thing, the LMNOP, and thought, oh, hell no, I'm not going to deal with this shite. Yeah, that's a big possibility. Could be anything. And he didn't call Jeremy a businessman. He made a special mention that he is a YouTuber. Well, because he knows that as far as he's seen, this is a YouTuber. And also he's sort of going off of what was filed in the court. Now, a lot of things can change. Just give it time. Let the process happen. Don't get too worked up. Don't get too worried. Things will happen as they're supposed to happen. I stay until you read the letter. We'll go catch some Z's before catching my attention back home. Vacation came to an end. Well, I hope you had a good vacation, Brenda. I hope you really did. But the letter is coming. The letter is coming. You just have to be totally prepared for it. I hope that you're prepared. Bend over. It's gonna pinch.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Open letter to the courtroom crybaby Bubbles, master of extensions and excuses. Dear Bubbles, congratulations, you've done it again. You've managed to file yet another motion in federal courtroom that screams, "I'm not ready, I never was, and I never may be." And lo and behold, the ever-patient Judge Bolitho granted you a generous 21-day extension to respond after amending complaint is filed. That's right, Brucey. You secured a rain check on your own legal panic attack. You saw the amended complaint on the horizon and said, better start crying now so the judge hears me over the thunder. You're not just asking to kick the can down the road anymore. You've thrown the can into a wood chipper and asked the court to grant you time to reassemble it using duct tape and tears. Well, let's just take a moment to appreciate the comedic elegance of this moment. You weren't facing a deadline. You weren't responding to the actual complaint because it hasn't even been filed yet. You were just preemptively announcing that whenever it does drop, you're going to need some breathing room. Presumably to do what you've done for months. Meltdowns and filings, ghostwrite for pro se co-defendants, and rage email half of YouTube with conspiracy pitches that even InfoWars would reject. And once again, you invoke the sacred words, for good cause shown. What exactly was the good cause this time, Bruce? Your seasonal allergies? Your wounded ego? Did your moral compass break down again and you had to stop and find a replacement? Or maybe you were just exhausted from creating the anti-what-the-hell's media ecosystem and needed a nap? You're a disgrace to motion practice, Bruce, a walking bad faith filing, a fevered dream in loafers. You write legal briefs like you're ghostwriting for a sov sit with an English degree from DeVry. Everything you touch turns to shit. Every pleading. A grab of projection, delusion, and that unmistakable stench of, I'm not actually prepared, Your Honor, but please don't yell. Well, let's be real. This wasn't a grand legal maneuver. This was an emotional support filing. You're not practicing law. You're doing improv with a bar guard. This case is not complex, Bruce, but you are. A Rube Goldberg machine of bad decisions and self-inflicted disasters. You got sanctions. You got roasted. You failed to show up to hearings. You had your filings struck like the bell at a boxing match. You whined about biased judges, conspiracies, and YouTube narrative wars while pretending you didn't create half of them. And now, having spent the past month melting down in emails, ducking hearings, and accusing federal judges of misconduct, your masterstroke is to whisper into the court's ear, yes, just give me a little more time, Your Honor. I swear I'll be a good boy this round. Oh, Bubbles, please. At this point, the docket should come with a content warning say, may contain desperation. Let me translate what this motion really said. I know a storm is coming, and I'd rather build a pillow for it than face it. And honestly, who could blame you? The amended complaint reads like a horror anthology where every chapter ends with you doing something even dumber than the last. You're not just in the lawsuit, you're one of its plot twists. You're the Easter egg in the courtroom drama no one asked for except of candy. You're filled with ego and unverifiable footnotes. Here's some free advice, Bubbles. Extensions only delay consequences. They don't erase them. You can file motions until your keyboard gives out, but at the end of the day, the facts aren't on your side. The court isn't buying your pity tour, and your co-defendants are about one live stream away from implicating you in a group chat theater production of Who Screwed Up the Worst? Every time you show your face in this case, it's not with argument, it's with excuses. You ghost wrote garbage for pro se defendants. You wept about bias from the bench after being slapped with an order you earned. You filed motions like a drunk uncle on karaoke night, off key, too long, and missing key facts, and now you want more time. Of course you do, because you know it's coming. The amended complaint doesn't name you. It fillets you. It lays out your collusion, your emails, your threats, your anti-what-the-hell's wet dream conspiracy group chats, and your late-night craving for that motherfucking audio file. You didn't just join the conspiracy. You started drafting its theme song. And now you've asked for time. What would you do with it, Bruce? Spending it pacing your empty office, fantasizing about shouting over Tug again, spamming another round of rage emails to Megan Fox, DU Guy, Whatnot, PJ Media, and the mayor of Middle Earth? Or will you be updating your resume? Because after this, you'll need to. You don't need 21 days, Bruce. You need an intervention, a vacation, and possibly a new career path that doesn't involve speaking under oath. But hey, you got your 21 days. Use them well. Practice your apologies, rehearse your shocked face, and maybe, just maybe, read a rule or two before pretending you follow them. Because the clock is ticking, Bruce. And when that complaint drops, it won't be justice delayed. It will be karma on a schedule. Tick-tock, bubbles, tick-tock. Yours in courtroom patience exhaustion is Shizzy Wiz, not federal filings translator and unofficial therapist for the melted counsel, and still your daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy Wiz Nut.
Yeah, you thought I was going to let it go. I never let it go. I'm like a dog with a bone. Loud, blame green, red, green. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Daddy, may I have another? Oh, there's more. Trust me, Bone Crusher, there's more. Catch you on replay tomorrow. Have a good night, chat. Well, thank you, Brenda. You have a wonderful night also. Yeah, I've got a couple of letters to do tonight. Oh, the next one is going to be a little more blistering. Let's just put it that way. Just a little bit more blistering. Love the honey badger avatar. Well, thank you, Sherry. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think you've been hanging out with the Possum Lodge too long. You think? You think? I mean, I don't even know what that is, but no, I haven't. Okay, 180 likes. Can we do something better? Let's help Shizzy by hitting that thumbs up. Well, make it feel good. Make it feel good. All right, what do we got here? Order. Yeah, this order. This one was the crazy one right here. So defendants John Cook, Lynette Preston were personally served with plaintiff's complaint on March 24th, 2025. Accordingly, their responsive pleadings were due on April 15th, 2025. And, well, that deadline passed. And neither defendant Cook nor defendant Preston responded or otherwise appeared in the case. And then, of course, Randy, the plaintiff, Jeremy, the plaintiff, moved for entry of default in Doc 21. The clerk of court entered default under Federal Rule Civil Procedure 55 against defendants Cook and Preston on April 17th, 2025. Doc 22. On April 18th, 3 days later, defendants Cook and Preston moved to set aside the default and requested 21 days to file responsive pleadings to plaintiff's amended complaint. Now, he also notates in 1 down here, which is really important, because down here in 1, it says, I must have passed it down here. 1, plaintiff's amended complaint has not yet been filed. Okay. So he's notating that the plaintiff has not filed an amended complaint. Okay. Now, defendants Cook and Preston claim good cause exists to set aside the default because they are indignant, proceeding as pro se and involved in several other lawsuits with the plaintiff. It's more than several other lawsuits with the plaintiff. They are plaintiffs in several other lawsuits going after him. Nice how they omitted that. Defendants Cook and Preston state that they lost track of the date they were served. How do you lose track of it? They also stated that they're not trying to ignore it or trying to avoid responding, and that they intend to defend against plaintiff's claims. Yeah. The district court may set aside an entry of default for good cause. Have they proven good cause? Now, a lot of people would argue and say that no, they haven't filed anything that was good cause. But the judge saw it differently. The judge saw it. He saw that it was good cause. He said, hey, there hasn't been an amended complaint filed yet. So it's no harm, no foul, but they're only going to have 21 days after that to respond once that actually drops. Good cause warrants a case-by-case analysis, which means that he looked at this by its case, including consideration of the following: whether the default was culpable or willful. Wait until you see what gets filed in court about them saying, we're not going to respond. Whether the defaulting party presents a meritorious defense. Whether there was significant financial loss to the defaulting party. Whether the defaulting party acted promptly to correct the default. Well, the plaintiff's amended complaint hasn't been filed, and the citation was omitted. Also, Hester v. Gulfstream, setting aside an entry of default when there was only minimal delay, but they had 21 days before that. No willfulness or prejudice shown. And the party asserted a potentially meritorious defense in the case. Well, what would that meritorious defense be, Your Honor? Defaults are generally disfavored as there is a strong policy of determining cases on their merits. The court finds good cause for setting aside the entry of default against defendants Cook and Preston. Here, there is no evidence that their failure to file a responsive pleading was culpable or willful until you see the documentation, and then it's like, oh, maybe it was. Only 1 day after the clerk of court entered default, defendants Cook and Preston appeared in the case and moved to set aside default. Thus, defendants Cook and Preston acted promptly to correct this error in judgment that might have been willful at some point in time, but at the time of the filing, it was not. Well, additionally, there was no evidence that setting aside the entry of default would result in any prejudice to the plaintiff. That's yet to see. Several other defendants do not appear to have been served yet. And plaintiff is in the process of preparing an amended complaint that is yet to be filed. See document 17. Although defendants Cook and Preston have not yet filed a responsive pleading in the case, any response to the original complaint would be quickly superseded given the forthcoming amended complaint. How? Well, there's a possibility it could, because like I showed last time, is those two that were not, that they were against all the parties, could change. For these reasons, the court finds good cause to set aside the entry of default. Accordingly, it's ordered that defendants Cook and defendants Preston's motions to set aside defaults 23 and 24 are granted, and the clerk of court is directed to set aside the entry against defendants Cook and Preston. Defendants Cook and Preston must respond to the plaintiff's amended complaint within 21 days after the amended complaint is filed. Done and ordered on the 21st day of April, 2025. Welcome, Colin. There you go.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Every single day.
Not just once or twice.
A new flavor of fuckery.
'Cause everybody sucks, you see,
and they're dumber than
a bag of rocks.
Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Yeah, we'll have it all over again.
Yes. Welcome, Colin, being a new member. Yes, it is disappointing. But here's the thing. These kinds of things happen in court cases. You cannot win every single motion. You cannot win every single thing that you're trying to do. So these kinds of things are going to happen. Okay? It's not always just the battle. It's the entire war that you're wanting to win here. I'm sorry, but nothing beats shake it. Yes, it has nothing to do. These amendments have nothing to do with Lynette or Cook. Actually, it does. It does. Those amendments do have to do with Lynette Cook, because if you look at what those particular ones are, and I pointed this out the other night, those particular ones, there's 3 parts that will be amended. 6, 12, and 13, I believe, or 6, 13, and 16. Now, the first one only involves David Helm. The other 2 in that actually involve all of the plaintiffs as a whole, and that's part of the tortious interference. So it does involve the other 2. It's a fine line, but it still does involve them. So that could change everything. That's what you get when you hire a law tutor. Exactly. So it does involve the other, just in those 2 particular pieces. Those are involved there. All right. I think it was only being changed. I thought it was only being changed with regard to Dave. No, only one part of that is. There's 3 parts of that. It's 16, 12, and 13, or 16, 13, and 15, or something like that. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. But those other particular ones involve the parties as a whole. So and they're just waiting to see how that involves the parties as a whole. All right, here we go. Thought it was only being changed with regard to Dave. Yeah, no, it happens. I thought the same thing whenever I read it, but it's correct, because defendant Hughes had neither appeared nor moved to set aside the default entered against her. Doc 2022, the clerk's default remains in effect as to defendant Hughes. Plaintiff is reminded that since defendants Preston and Cook are proceeding pro se at this time, they are not registered in the CM-ECF system, and pleadings must be served on them via U.S. mail. The certificate of service shall reflect the date on which plaintiff served defendants Preston and Cook via U.S. mail. Okay? If they get an attorney, that could change. Okay, but Hughes will still remain in default. Simple as that. And then the judge dropped this just a little while later. So I just say,
squeeze my hog.
Yeah, defendants John Cook and Lynette are currently proceeding pro se in this case. On April 18th, 2025, they filed motions requesting a court-appointed counsel. They assert that they are indigent and have been unable to retain counsel to represent them. Do you think that's true? Do you think they've been unable? Well, they did have an attorney, but they fired him. Unlike criminal defendants, indigent civil litigants generally have no right to be represented by court-appointed counsel. Hey, Rub Mama, good to see you. Bass versus Perrin, 170. Nor does the court have a budget to pay attorneys to represent indigent civil litigants. The reason why is because criminal means that you're taking away someone's rights. Civil means you're taking away someone's monies. So they don't have a right to an attorney. We've said this before. There's no right to be represented by an attorney in a civil litigation. That's something that you could you can get an attorney. You have that ability until you do something criminal. Now, if you were criminal, that'd be completely different. Thus, the court is unable to select an attorney and order that attorney to represent defendants Cook and Preston free of charge. Declining to authorize compulsory assignments of attorneys in civil cases. The court may, however, in exceptional circumstances, exercise its discretion to request an attorney to represent any person unable to afford counsel. They can request, but they can't demand. U.S. 28C, 1915, emphasis is added. Based on unique circumstances of this case and the court's familiarity gained from presiding over a related case, so this has actually helped them quite a bit that he's been involved in the other case. With the facts and issues involved, the court believes it appropriate to request representation for defendants Cook and Preston under 1915. Accordingly, the court will direct the clerk of court to issue a notice to all attorneys registered with the court's electronic filing system requesting an attorney to volunteer to represent, get this, to volunteer to represent defendants Cook and Preston, which means they have to be registered with the court's electronic filing system. All attorneys registered with court's electronic filing system. And if you don't understand what he means by this, it's more than just being an attorney. Requesting an attorney to volunteer. Defendants Cook and Preston are advised, however, to shut the hell up. However, this request does not guarantee them representation in this case. They must continue to defend this case themselves unless and until counsel appears on their behalf. And you notice that he has this very much highlighted here. He has it emboldened. He is telling them, you are to represent yourself in this case. Posting to find a pro bono lawyer. Yeah. So they have to do this on their own. They have to respond. If Shockett files something tomorrow in this case, they have to respond as if an attorney would respond. They're going to have to defend this case themselves. If he files something 21 days later, and they don't have an attorney, they're still required to represent themselves. Now, tell me that doesn't hoit quite a bit. Accordingly, it's ordered that the defendants Cook and defendants Preston motions requesting court-appointed counsel are denied in part to the extent that the court will not appoint an attorney to represent them, and granted in part to the extent that the court directs the clerk of court to issue a notice to all attorneys registered with the court's electronic filing system. Publish on the court's website the notice soliciting a volunteer attorney to represent defendants Preston and Cook. That notice must state this is a notice of opportunity. Well, let's see. I think we need to get a nice mellow voice in here. This is a notice of opportunity to provide pro bono representation in the case of Hales v. Cook et al. Case number 125CV58RHCVB. Plaintiff, the owner of a YouTube channel, claims that defendants Cook and Preston, among others, agreed to intentionally and maliciously participate in a civil conspiracy among themselves and with other individuals, the purpose of which was to commit the torts of defamation per se, and tortious interference with advantageous business relationships. Defendants Cook and Preston are two of not one, not two, not three, but 10 defendants, and the case is currently in the pleading stage with an amended complaint to be filed soon. Public funds are not available for the payment of an attorney's fees. Limited funds are sometimes available from the district's bench and bar fund for the payment of out-of-pocket expenses incurred by an attorney providing representation of this type. Members of the district bar will be afforded access to the electronic docket without charge for the purpose of considering whether to undertake the representation. An attorney who wishes to provide representation may contact the clerk's office to obtain defendant Cook's and defendant Preston's contact information, and may enter the case by filing a notice of appearance after obtaining consent of defendants Cook and Preston to the representation. Done and ordered this 21st day of April 2025. Yes. The judge looked at them and said, hey, you guys are complete morons, but you know that you still should be able to have an attorney. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. If Randy files something tomorrow morning and he files that amended complaint, 21 days, clock starts ticking, and they have 21 days to file a response. After that, they start moving on to the next phase, and that would go for every single one of the other ones that are being served. I have a feeling a lot of all that stuff is going to come in pretty damn right on top of one another. That would be my thought. Crazy, isn't it? Hey, She-Hunts, how you doing? But, of course, as I said before,
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
oh man, oh man. An open letter to the Courtroom Sob Squad. We lost track of the date and other greatest hits from the Pro Se Pit Choir. Dear John, Cook, and Lynette Preston, Well, you missed your court deadline. Then you missed your dignity. Then you had the audacity to limp back into court, waving the tattered remains of your excuses like they were constitutional amendments. And now, you're on the courthouse steps with your hats in your hands, performing the legal equivalent of busking for sympathy. You lost track of the date. Seriously, you're being sued for running a 2-year defamation campaign and coordinating a cyber lynch mob, and your defense is that you forgot what day it was. No, what you lost was the plot, the case, and any shred of credibility left after your amateur hour coup attempt against the judicial procedure collapsed like your GoFundMe grift. Well, you weren't late because of indigence. You weren't late because of complexity. You were late because you're amateurs playing arsonists and now crying about the burn. And yet one day after the clerk defaulted you, suddenly your bitch's asses remembered how calendars work and came running in with emotion and a sob story. It's funny how deadlines become urgent once consequences enter the chat. Let's be crystal clear. You were personally served. The court has the receipts, and what did you do? You sat there, probably in your mold-infested trailer, Wi-Fi tethered to whatever stolen hotspot you could find, and ignored the entire case till default hit. Then suddenly you scrambled back into the courtroom, clutching a sad little motion and whispering, "Oh, we meant to respond, we just forgot." No, you didn't forget. You just thought the rules didn't apply to you. You thought you were running some backwoods social media tribunal where timelines were optional and defamation was a lifestyle. But now you're in federal court and your backpedaling is more embarrassing than your YouTube thumbnails, and that's saying something. One of them had clip art from 2008 and font choices that should be a misdemeanor, but Judge Belitho, bless him and his reservoir of undeserved mercy, granted it. Yes, set aside the default. Gave you 21 days from the filing of the amended complaint. Not because you earned it, not because you're competent, but because the court apparently extends grace like a kindergarten teacher catching a kid eating paste. It's disappointing, but not yet a felony. The only real comedy didn't start until you're on court, when you filed a motion begging for the court-appointed counsel in a civil case, as if the Constitution just skips right past criminal and into, "Help me, I live stream my own conspiracy. I don't have a conspiracy, and now I'm being sued." As if this court runs a free legal aid program for defamation defendants who accidentally orchestrated a digital smear campaign, signed up for conspiracy group chats, and helped spread lawn signs accusing a man of rape. Well, wouldn't you know? You would never do such a thing. So let's unpack this pathetic little parade of excuses, shall we? We're indigent. You weren't too broke to run live streams, file multiple state lawsuits, start GoFundMe campaigns, or pay Brucey $100 to bribe a kid for the audio. We lost track of the date. You've been frothing about this lawsuit online since it was filed. You only forgot the date after it became clear you were needing an actual legal response instead of another bullshit TikTok video. You're not ignoring the court. Oh, yeah, you literally ignored the court, the summons, and the rules of civil procedure until the world default hit your Google alerts. And now we've reached that punchline. The court won't appoint you counsel. Oh, no. But it's sending out an email blast asking if anyone in the Florida bar feels like voluntarily walking into your burning clown shit car of a case. What you're getting is a countdown. 21 days from the moment that amended complaint hits the docket, and then you're back in the frying pan with no lawyer, no plan, and no idea how deep this rabbit hole goes. Think about that. A federal judge essentially told every lawyer in the district, "Hey, want to ruin your career for free? Here's your chance to represent two of the most toxic litigants this side of a sovereign citizen subreddit." Let me rephrase the court's message for clarity. Public funds aren't paying for your nonsense, but if any brave soul out there wants to dive headfirst into the pro se septic tank, we'll waive the pacer fees and maybe reimburse your parking. That's not a legal remedy. That's a Craigslist ad disguised as judicial mercy. You still think that this is a game, that you can sob your way through a defamation suit like it's community theater, that your live stream followers are going to form a legal shield around you made of emojis and moral outrage. But you see, this isn't YouTube. This is court. The only thing that your tears brought you was a ticking clock. One last chance to dig your own grave with a document titled Answer to Complaint. So buckle up, Preston. Grab your emotional support turtle, Cook, because when that amended complaint drops, you're going to be staring at 57 pages of receipts, chat logs, and testimony, and you'll have less time to respond than it took to paint lawn signs. Meanwhile, defendant Hughes remains defaulted and silent, possibly the only intelligent move made by anyone in your lineup. The rest of you are rolling into court like toddlers who set the house on fire and now want the judge to hold your hand while you play law. You're on YouTubes. Oh, and here's the part you still don't get. This isn't a game. You're not the underdogs in a courtroom drama. You're not starring in a Netflix special. You're defendants in a federal defamation suit facing mountains of evidence, witness statements, transcripts, where you openly plotted in group chats with a disgraced Massachusetts lawyer screaming about media ecosystems and that mother effing audio file. You don't need a lawyer. You need a life coach, a gag order, and a cease and desist from your own impulses. But don't worry. The amended complaint is coming. When it does, that 21-day countdown begins again. You'll have to file real answers, not live stream tantrums, not Facebook rants, not microwavable excuses wrapped in legal fantasy. So sit tight, sob quietly, and buckle up. Because in 21 days, you'll be responding pro se to allegations that you helped build brick by defamatory brick with the entire internet watching. TikTok Cook, TikTok Preston. The Courtroom Sob Squad just ran out of Kleenex, and the next hearing won't come with a participation trophy. Sincerely, Shizzy Wiznut. Legal eulogist, writing obituaries for the half-baked defenses since 2023, professional bullshit translator, purveyor of the legal roast beef sandwiches, and still, your daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Oh, yeah. I got to show you guys something, because this is something that means a whole lot more than anything that you could imagine. Check this out.
Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Yes. Reach out to the White Rabbit, or you can email the expert or at the expert. I think it's at theexpertmail.com, something like that. go check out the expert and go look at his channel. If you're looking and you want your name added to that list, you want to be part of that whole thing, let them know. Let them know. Get your stuff set up. That's coming up really soon. The after show, check your email, TP250. It's bad worthy. Okay. I will give it a look. I will give it a look if I get a chance. But I won't be able to do it tonight. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I'm going to be talking about tonight. It is not just all about bubbles. There's a lot going on there. Yes, there's quite a bit going on there. And if you haven't checked out Valor View News, he does have some really good shorts. You ought to go check it out. Go check out his shorts. I love the expert. He's just too hyper for my old ass. What do you mean, Angel? He is not hyper at all. He just likes to hang with you guys. You know that he does. Well, that'd be amazing. You're 48 minutes behind. Then you just started, Mary. There's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely fine to just come in and enjoy the time that you're here, because I enjoy the time that all of you people are here. This is my happy fun place. Yeah, we've got some stuff that I've been working on, and I want to give you guys some sneak peeks at it. If you're interested, this is where we start showing off some stuff. If you're really wanting to see some cool stuff, it's about to happen. I've got a couple of new songs that I've been working on. Expert is very laid back. It is very laid back. So what I have is interesting. It's going to be good. And let me go ahead and remove that. Stop that screen, present, share screen. Give me just a second. And I'm going to let you guys hear some music. And this will be good. Let me see if I get this right. Ah, here we go. There we go. So now you can hear the music and tell me if you think any of these sound really good. Oh yeah, the expert's arm candy for the white rabbit. That's right. What are my thoughts on the BS Bolito has done? Well, my thoughts are that the judge is doing what the judge needs to do. He is intentionally making sure that what he does follows the rule of law. Now, there's things that Randy can do if he wants to fight it. And that would be up to Randy if he wants to fight it, and not the thing you were showing. Nice. Wonder if you'll run into Jeff from Everything Auto when at Dollywood. I'm just might, you never know. But check this out.
Yo, this was for the bro.
Can you hear that? I hope you could. Well, raid. We're getting a raid. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Welcome. Yeah, it'll start piling in here pretty good. Yes, you could hear that. Good. All right, check this one out.
Yo, this was for the broke, the bold, illegally cold, and the defaulted tooth gold.
This is a notice, y'all, yeah, it's getting tragic. Cook and Preston need a lawyer, but ain't got no magic. Caught in a case where the facts don't lie. Now they begging for a suit to stand by their side. No fun's no fun, the court done said. But if you really love pain, step right ahead. 10 defendants deep in the slime ball stew, with defamation claims sticking like court-grade glue.
Intentional malicious, man, that's the charge. Cook and Preston riding shotgun in a libel barge. And now they sitting in the back, eyes wide, while the Claire shouts, who wanna be their guy?
So I got that one. And then I've got this one.
Yo! This was for the broke, the bold, the legally cold, and the defaulted twofold. Let's go.
That one's pretty good, but this one I think is one that I liked a little better. Nope, not that one.
Yo, this was for the broke, the bold, the legally cold, and the defaulted twofold. Let's go. This is a notice, y'all. Yeah, it's getting tragic. Cook and Preston need a lawyer, but ain't got no magic. Caught
Caught in a case where the facts don't lie. Now they begging for a suit to stand by their side. No funds, no fun, the court done said. But if you really love pain, step right ahead. 10 defendants deep in the slime ball stew, with defamation claims sticking like court grade glue. Intentional malicious, man, that's the charge. Cook and Preston right.
That was pretty good. I like that one. That one was good.
Yo, this one's for the broke, the bold, the legally cold, and the default is twofold. Let's go.
This is a notice, y'all. Yeah, it's getting tragic. Cook and Preston need a lawyer, but ain't got no magic. Caught in a case where the facts don't lie. Now they begging for a suit to stand by their side. No funds, no fun. The court done said, but if you really love pain, step right ahead. 10 defendants deep in this slime ball stew, with defamation claims sticking like court grade glue. Intentional malicious, man, that's the charge. Cook and Preston riding shotgun in a libel barge. And now they sitting in the back, eyes wide, while the clerk shouts, who wanna be their guide? Calling all fools, come represent the wreck. Bring your license, bring a mop, bring a damn paycheck. Pro bono, no doge, trauma and mess. You'll get access to the docket, but no FedEx. Sales be the circus and the clowns need help, but your reputation's worth more than the pitiful yelp. So step to the mic if you got a death wish, and sign up to babysit a legal catfish.
Yo, the judge hits him like let's test fate. A courtroom bat signal for a proceed blind date. Cook and Preston burning hot like toast, still waiting on Bruce, but he goes to the post. The clerk's like, you won't get cash, but you might get stress, and your name on a docket full of YouTube mess. Limited funds, that's code for hell nah, and no lawyer alive wanna tangle with this flaw. See, it's torturous interference and slander galore, and these two wanna plead like it's Judge Mathis Tor. Forget client privilege, they live stream the plot, then claim we forgot the date. Man, that's all you got. Calling all fools, come represent the wreck. Bring your ethics, bring a flash, bring your best paralegals tech. Proto, no promo, just tears and fear. They'll thank you with a shout out and ruin your career. Defamation ain't no win. Just press play on the tapes and watch the spin. So if you're down to fight a flood with a spoon, suit up, cause the clowns hit trial soon. Yeah, this ain't representation. This is a trap dressed up like salvation. You walk in that case, you don't walk out clean. You walk out with night sweats and a Twitter meme. We didn't mean it, we lost track of time. Could someone please fight the suit on our dime? We don't got money, we don't got class, but we got Bruce's folder and a prayer for the past.
I like that one. That one was pretty good. That was pretty good. And I think I've got another one in here that was pretty good. It was this one in here, I think. I'll have to double check. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is the one. That is the one, because I think this is the one that I finally put together. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we in the courtroom, no time for games. Gainesville's a place, another loss, such a shame. Emotions dead, straight denied. Gainesville to Gainesville, no place to hide. You came to play, but you got this. This judge ain't feeling your reconsideration twist. Step up, Bruce. Thought you'd shake the stage, but you just flamed out like a tired old page. Talking big moves, trying to flip the script, but your weak ass motion got your case eclipsed. You pushing for delays, trying to stall the fight, but we shut it down, put you back in the night. No replays here, no do-overs in this show. You played yourself, now it's time to go. Emotions dead, straight denied. Gainesville to Gainesville, no place to hide. You came to play, but you got this. This judge ain't feeling your reconsideration twist. Think you could bounce back with some half-assed plea, but we see right through that corporate trickery. You wanna prolong, inflate the bill, but this court's on point and we got the skill. No pre-trial games, no extra round. Your hustle's weak, you ain't messing around. We keep it real, we keep it tight. Your motion's dead, vanish into the night. Pack up your case, your time is done. No rehashing, we talk, you lost and run. Gainesville's the truth, the spotlight's on. Step aside, boys, your chance is gone. Your motion's dead, straight denied. Gainesville to Gainesville, no place to hide. You came to play, but you got this judge ain't feeling your reconsideration twist. So take this lesson, learn from the flame. In our courtroom, we don't entertain the lame. Your act is over, the verdict's been made. Motion denied, your game's been played. So take this lesson, learn from the flame. In our courtroom, we don't entertain the lame. Your act is over, the verdict's been made. Motion denied, your game's been played.
Yeah, that one was all right. That one was all right. So someone wanted to hear this again. Well, let's give it to them. Number 2.
Yo, check it, this is a tale of a lawyer gone wrong. Bubbles in the courtroom, his game ain't strong. Messing up every case, his paper's a hot mess. Now he's getting sued hard, his reps laid to rest. Bubbles, that dumbass lawyer, always acting like he's a king. Filing bogus claims for nothing, ain't got a damn thing. He sued his own damn lunch, claimed it hurt his soul. Now the courtroom's bursting out laughing as the story takes its toll. He don't know legal briefs from the back of his hand, spewing nonsense in the court like he's the man with a plan. Every word he drops is trash, every claim a farce. Now he's drowning in his lies, his future shattered like glass. Bubbles got sued, man, his case is pure disgrace. All that dumbass lawyer bullshit, now he's falling from grace. In the courtroom he's a joke, the gavel's about to slam. Bubbles, you dumbass lawyer, you're a stain on the program.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm laughing too hard. I had to do that one. I'm sorry. I was having too much fun one night. I'll play it for you. It'd be better to slow down. No, it was intentionally done that way. All right, I'll play number 2 for you. Here you go. Number 2.
This was for the broke, the bold, the legally cold, and the defaulted twofold. Let's go. This is a notice, y'all. Yeah, it's getting tragic. Cook and Preston need a lawyer, but ain't got no magic. Caught in a case where the facts don't lie. Now they begging for a suit to stand by their side. No funds, no fun, the court done said. But if you really love pain, step right ahead. 10 defendants deep in this slime ball stew, with defamation claims sticking like court-grade glue. Intentional malicious, man, that's the charge. Cook and Preston riding shotgun in a libel barge. And now they sitting in the back, eyes wide, while the clerk shouts, who wanna be the guy?
Calling all fools, come represent the wreck. Bring your license, bring a mop, bring a damn paycheck. Pro bono, no dough, just trauma and mess. You'll get access to the docket, but no FedEx. It's Hail be the circus and the clowns need help, but your reputation's worth more than their pitiful yelps. So step to the mic if you got a death wish, and sign up to babysit a legal catfish.
Oh, let's see. Well, we'll get you right here. I know we've got the tug raid. Well,
Squeeze my hard.
thank you very much, Emma Washington. Let me get you one of those beautiful, beautiful stars right there. So tasty. So tasty. Yes, we do have some more of your wonderful stuff coming in. It says, I love for you. Hearts from Auckland. I think is that right? Maybe I'm wrong. Is that right? Thank you very much, Carrie McPhee. I appreciate you. That is awesome. Thank you. Oh man, I am like clearing up all of the little white spaces on here. Thank you. That is for you there so much. And of course, we have.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh, yes.
Every single day.
Every day.
A new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of flops. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid predicaments. Ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Well, yes.
All over again.
All over again. Thank you, Zohan. I am redoxing Shiz. He's studly unwell. I do like to have a little bit of fun now. I say that having some fun right there. That is you right there. That nice blue one right there. That's you. I mean, look at that thing. That is just all glittery and everything. It's all glittery and smells nice and everything now. Oh, yes. It's awesome. I knew you guys would like that, son. No, I outed you, Mr. Hungwell. Shame on you, Zohan. Zohan, you would never get the best of me ever. No, I'm working on a couple of new videos to have come out, but I do have another letter, and amazing enough, this other letter is going to have nothing to do with the Hales. Now, I don't know if you've been watching any of the Kara Reed stuff. Now, I did watch quite a bit of it today. Shame on me. Did you insert air fresheners? No, I did watch quite a bit of the Karen Reed stuff that was going on today, and it is. You must be on about the second layer all over. Songs are great. Well, thank you. I do have some good stuff. You folks never run into Cabot. Seriously, sharp cheddar, grab it. It's the best grilled cheese ever. Yeah, Cabot, it's good stuff. Shizzy was not. Well, I will never call you anything other than Mr. Longwell from here on in. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, Massachusetts court is crazy. Yes, I will, and I will be putting out. Hey, I did see an email. I saw that I got an email. I don't check all of my emails all the time. I'm pretty slow at that sometimes. So thank you. I do have a beautiful letter that I'm going to be reading to the court, of course, because this is what I do. You understand? This is what I do. I love to have just a little bit of damn fun in here. And I will tell you that this next letter, it is blistering. It is blistering. If you did not see the two witnesses that they had today, well, then what were you doing? Because that right there was the very, very fun stuff. Very fun stuff. It is very cool for me to show to you. Give me just a second. I will pull this thing up and get it ready to go. But what I'm going to do is I have to give you that mean intro just for you.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
An open letter to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Congratulations on your faceplant. Day 1 recap. Dear Commonwealth. Well, that was your big opening, huh? That was the showstopper. Gotta say, fellas, when you spent 2 years building that house of cards, I guess it makes sense your first day in court would look like amateur hour at a magic show run by toddlers. I mean, sure, we knew you were going to fumble the bag, but I didn't expect you to eat a big bag of dicks and choke on the receipt before lunchtime. But hey, credit where credit's due. At least you committed. You really stood there with a straight face and tried to sell the jury on the idea that Karen Reed, in the middle of a snowstorm, just suddenly snapped for the very first time ever, spun her Lexus around like she was auditioning for Fast and the Furious Mansfield Drift, and took out her cop boyfriend and then left him there like a yard gnome on Brian Albert's front lawn, while 6 people walked out the front door and somehow didn't notice a 6'2", 220-pound corpse just doing snow angels in the front yard. I mean, bravo, really, that takes a certain level of kaputs. You had to know how stupid that sounded, but you still showed up in court, suited up, and delivered that like you were reading bedtime stories for the first 48 crew. Now, this is the open letter to the 2-star witness Karen Reed trial, Timmy the tap dance dancer and Carrie the clutch player. Dear Timothy Nuttall and Carrie Roberts, thank you. No, really, thank you for volunteering as the prosecution's emotional support animals in the second installment of the Karen Reed Show, brought to you by White Claw Bev and the Commonwealth Players. Watching you both stumble through your testimonies was like witnessing a bad community theater production of 12 Angry Clowns. Let's start with you, Timothy. Consistency is optional, not all. You were the prosecution's first witness, the grand opening act. The guy meant to set the tone, and boy, did you ever. Nothing like kicking off a murder trial with a witness who can't remember how many times the alleged killer confessed. Was it 2 times, Timmy? 3, 5, 17? Or were you just picking numbers like Powerball tickets, hoping that one of them would stick? Maybe if Karen had screamed, "I hit him," 47 times and spray painted it on the side of her SUV, we'd believe you nailed the count. But when it's 2 one day, 3 the next, and your excuse is basically, "Oopsie, my bad." I mean, you're a paramedic, Timmy. You're supposed to assess situations under pressure, but apparently when it comes to counting to 3, that's where your skills tap out. You'd think the first and loudest alleged confession of murder you ever heard might be the kind of thing you'd lock into the old memory banks, but no. First it was 2 times, now it's 3. Next retrial, I have to expect you to roll in with a whiteboard and tally marks. Oh, and your big evidence that Karen Reed had blood on her face. Real impressive deduction there, shithead. I mean, you mean the woman who was screaming, sobbing, and trying to save the life of her dying boyfriend had blood on her. Wow. Case closed. Next, you'll be telling us water is wet and the Canton PD can't investigate their way out of a paper bag. Actually, strike that last one. We already knew they couldn't. You know who else probably had blood on them, Timmy? You. But I'm guessing the prosecution didn't ask if you confessed. You were the big opener, Timmy. The prosecution's show pony, and all you managed to prove is that their case is built on nothing but vibes, taillight dust, and a group chat full of meatheads. Hell, your best contribution to a murder case is, "I can't remember how many times she maybe kind of sort of said something." Your testimony belongs in the recycling bin, but hey, thanks for showing up. Enjoy your participation ribbon. Now on to Carrie Plow Theory Roberts. Carrie. What a performance. When they needed a friend to throw Karen under the bus, or I guess under the plow in your version, you really rose to the occasion. You got up there and told the world about that early morning phone call like you were auditioning for the Lifetime original movie. "I woke up hysterical and forgot the plot." Well, let's be clear here, Carrie. Karen Reed didn't call her lawyer that night. She didn't run and hide. She didn't sit in the dark hoping nobody noticed. No, she called you because she trusted you. She believed that you, the so-called friend, might actually give a shit that something was wrong. And you turned that call into the prosecution's emotional Trojan horse. You rolled up to the witness stand, painted Karen's hysteria as guilt, and served it to the jury like it was some kind of damning confession. You didn't tell the story of a woman in shock. You told the story of the Commonwealth needed. You told the story that fit their narrative, not the truth, not the whole picture, but the soundbite they could sell. You took a woman crying, "Oh my God, John is dead," and twisted it into, "See, she must have done it." That's not testimony, Carrie. That is character assassination with a downside of cowardice. But sure, tell me again how that makes you the prosecution star player. Let's be clear about what you delivered. Karen called screaming to you that John was dead. She was panicked, hysterical, devastated. She wondered if he was hit by a plow. A plow, I mean, nothing says sure murder like a half-remembered snowstorm theory, shouted through sobs. And what did you do, Carrie? You got on that stand. You played armchair psychologist, trying to paint your close friend as guilty because she was drunk and distraught and couldn't remember the night perfectly. Well, newsflash, that's called trauma, not testimony, moron. Oh, and while we're here, Carrie, let's chat about your favorite little jab at Karen. She was so drunk she couldn't even remember the night. Cute, real cute. Now, remind me, wasn't there a whole house full of hammered cops at that party? Didn't a room full of public servants drink the same damn drinks, stand in the same goddamn kitchen, and somehow none of them saw John O'Keefe leave? Weird how Karen's drinking makes her guilty, but everybody else's drinking makes them innocent bystanders. Well, that's weird. How Karen's blackout is a crime, but 34 very few collective amnesia is just boys being boys. Must be nice to have that kind of privilege, huh, Carrie? You sat there like you were the ghost of phone calls past, delivering the prosecution's only real evidence: vibes and drunk dialing. And while we're here, if you're going to crucify Karen Reed for heavy drinking at a cop-heavy house party, I have one question, Carrie. Where's the lineup for everyone else who was at that party getting hammered? Or is it amnesia only a felony when it happens to the woman in the defendant's chair? Forget that they lawyered up faster than you can say qualified immunity. Forget that one of them destroyed his phone. Forget the evidence that was shifted, buried, and withheld. We've got Carrie and her phone call analysis. Case closed. The reality is, Carrie, your testimony was about establishing truth. It wasn't about supplying a vibe. You were there to push the prosecution's favorite image of Karen Reed, the unstable, hysterical, drunken woman, the crazy ex-girlfriend, the emotional liability who just must have done it because the guys at the party couldn't have, right? No way. Well, to both of you, congrats on making the prosecution look worse. Let me explain how this works to me, Carrie. If you're the best witnesses on the prosecution's roster, it's not Karen Reed who looks guilty, it's the case that looks stupid. Between Nuttall's choose your own number of confessions to her and Carrie's "I think I heard her maybe say something while she was sobbing" recital, we're left with the legal equivalent of a third grader's book report on a movie they fell asleep halfway through. But hey, thanks for playing. Your testimony will sit proudly on the shelf next to the broken taillight, the missing cell phones, and the evidence bags marked totally legit. Don't ask questions. Well, sleep well knowing you did your part. Yours in jaw-dropped amazement, Shizzy Wisnut. Short bus historian of state-sanctioned theater, Velcro-strapped, caffeine-fueled, and still wondering why anyone thinks this case isn't an insult to common sense.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Yes. So much fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had a very interesting day. I got stifled because I go against the acceptable rhetoric. Acceptable rhetoric. Is there acceptable rhetoric? I don't know what there is. I don't know anymore. I have too much fun. Just having too much fun here. You know, this is the thing. there is supposed to be there's supposed to be some very interesting stuff coming out in this Karen Reed case, and well, I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be watching what's going on with all that's going on with the Hales, and some of it there's a big lull right now. You're not going to see a whole lot coming out. At least it shouldn't be coming out until, well, let's see, until something's filed. There's not much going on there. I've covered about as much of that as there is to cover on that. I know there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on in the background. There's super, what is it, Facebook thing or something like that people are talking about. Some of it is legit. And all I can say is all that stuff, I'm sure that Jeremy's team has. If they don't have it, I'm sure they would appreciate it. I don't read off on that stuff because I don't have any way of verifying it except for what other people are talking about. Valor View News, tell me if it adds up. Well, there's a lot of stuff. I won't be able to look at it tonight. I'll probably look at it much later. I have a very, very busy day tomorrow. That's why my stream is probably going to be just a little bit shorter than I normally would do. It's just because I've got a lot of things going on in the 3D world that take a lot of precedent. So I've got to take care of those pretty early tomorrow, and then still have a nice stream to do in the morning. Hooray. I will be just like I said, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a super long stream tonight. I wanted to cover this on Saturday, both of the orders that came in from the judge, because I was really concerned, about quite a bit of that. I did want to mull it over, and sort of see it from where the judge might be coming from, because the judge had a lot to say in just that short period of time. He wanted to make sure that his ass was covered. Understand that these two are pro se clients, and there's a possibility. Now, think about this from the judge's perspective. If he does this, there's a big possibility that same attorney could handle them in both cases, which means that he could move on with the case for the first federal case. That he wants to get that thing moving as quickly as possible. Once he gets that case moving, and I'm sure that he would probably want to talk with that attorney and say, we've got two of these cases. Can you represent them in both these cases? You don't know what the judge is thinking in this particular moment. And if there's an attorney there, there's a big possibility they can get through discovery much quicker. They can get through all of the other stuff that they need to get through so that they can keep on track with their timeline. We'll see what kind of attorney shows up, or if no attorney shows up, then that means that there's that 30-day stay will be over next month. This time next month, you will definitely see more pleadings come out. You're headed to bed. Well, you have a good night, Angel. I know you'll be thinking about me. That's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. There's nothing I can do about that. She's gonna be heading to bed. I know she's gonna be thinking about me. She can't help it. She'll be squirming around in bed, thinking good thoughts. You failed to verify assets, though. Oh yeah, we know that. You failed to verify the assets, but see, here's the thing. What happens if he does verify? Then do you think they're going to tell the truth? Do you think they would tell the truth about the assets they have? I mean, honestly, think about that. Do you think, in all your time of following this case, have you ever seen them tell the truth? So verify, what good is that going to do? Do you think they would talk about the money that's sitting in somebody else's bank account? They'll say, yeah, that's not ours. That's somebody else's. We can't touch that money. Hee hee ha ha. You think they would talk about all the little donations they've received? I mean, they're happy to brag about those in other places, but yeah, you have to remember the little things that you see on YouTube don't matter. The things that you see on Facebook don't matter except as evidence. What matters is what gets filed in the court. If you're trying to win the court of public opinion, then sure, it matters what you don't see in court. The most important part of this is what is filed in court. Those are the only things that matter in this whole case. No matter what side you're on, that's the only thing that matters. I've said this multiple times. You've heard Yamaha and I talk about this multiple times. It's like the only thing that matters in this case, it doesn't matter what the toothless ones are doing. It doesn't matter what they're saying, except whenever it comes to they just can't keep their kangaroo holes shut. So they will give themselves away. Let them say all that they want to say. Eating cold pizza, watching Mr. Hung. Jesus, yes. It is important to remember that in the court, the judge only sees what he is shown. And if he doesn't see anything different, or he's got no reason to see anything different, then he's not going to rule any different than the way that he has been doing. And Randy has found out firsthand that the judge is only going to see what he wants to see. If not, then he's going to come back and say, well, that was an improper filing and I'm sanctioning you for it, which is sort of crappy. But hey, that is the thing of it. I mean, you also have to remember, we have not seen what Bubbles is going to be sanctioned by this judge. And do you think the judge is going to play in the Fed case too? Whenever those filings come out, do you think the judge is going to play? Do you think the judge is going to play his bullshit games whenever he gets into the Fed case too? Remember, for 6 months, if they find a lawyer for Fed 2, can the judge order that lawyer to represent them in Fed case 1? Here, I'll give this to you because you said you've been a member for 6 months. Well, here you go.
Welcome to the shit
Show every single day.
A new flavor of fuckery, cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid predicaments, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. We'll do it all over again.
No, if you're wondering, can the judge order the lawyer to represent them in Fed 1? No, he can't order them to represent them in Fed 1. He can ask them to. The judge won't be able to order a lawyer to represent someone in another case. Also, because it's that right there would take a lot of time because that's 2 separate cases. Unless he combined the cases, that would be the only way that he could do it. And what do you know? There's a possibility that he might combine those 2 cases. You never know. You never know what the judge is going to do in this. The judge might say, yeah, it would make sense to combine these 2 cases because they're so closely over one another that he could. So maybe that's why he's wanting them to get an attorney. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's saying, no, I want them to represent themselves pro se so I could see. That's be better played in the Isles of Shizzy Mart. Yeah. Well, just whoa. Yeah, that's a scary one. We can't be doing that in the middle of Shizzy Mart. You have that song playing in the middle of Shizzy Mart, people would get very upset. They would be like, what? Why are all the employees dancing in the middle of Shizzy Mart? Oh, yes. I'm over on Valhalla's baby goat streamer, Tug and Meg in the evening or here. Sleep well. Well, I definitely will. I do, like I said, I do have a lot of 3D stuff going on tomorrow, and I will be cutting this bad one, this bad one short. I mean, this is like I said, don't get me wrong, it's very disappointing that the judge ruled this way. It's very disappointing. And there's downsides to it, but remember, this is only a small part of the case. They still have not gotten through discovery yet in the first federal case. Randy hasn't filed the amended complaint yet. Once that gets filed, the whole landscape starts to change. So whenever you're getting upset, you're getting, you're ready to break out the pitchforks, and go like, all Antifa on something. Just remember, this is only a small portion of the case. Take a deep breath, go touch a little bit of grass, and realize that this is not harming you, and it is harming Jeremy. It's harming George. It's harming his whole crew. It's harming Lynette. It's harming Bubbles. As much as you may not like these people and you think that they're despicable, horrible kinds of people, it doesn't matter. They're still being harmed by all of this. This is not an easy thing to go through. Bring happy birthday. Can I sing happy birthday for you? Oh, I can get you some happy birthday. If you want a little happy birthday, how about that? Like that.
Oh my, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, it is your day. Happy birthday to you.
Like that? A little bit of happy birthday for you, Shirley Marlin. I don't I go anti-gaslighting. If I have one follower to see the light, that's all right. Absolutely. Do you think that Defaming 10 will be screaming Mayday, Mayday, Mayday on May 1st? They might. You never know what's going to happen with all those people. And I did watch a little bit of Megan and Tugs tonight, and they were pretty spot on. Look at what's going on with Stupid Dave. I mean, he's back in 23, he was not too impressed with the way that things were going. Now he's back hanging around with them. That's why you just sit back and you watch some of these fools and you see what they're doing, and you pay attention to what they're saying. And you have to remember that like I said, this is not something that should be affecting you. This is something that affects Jeremy. It affects his ability to operate a business. It affects his social life. He can't go out. He has to increase security because he's worried about people stalking him. All of these kinds of things, that are affecting him. It's this, and I'm sure that this was, and and you can hate on it if you want to. I'm sure that this wasn't one of the easiest things for Bubbles to have to go through, but maybe he's learned his lesson, and maybe he'll behave. I don't see it happening, but maybe he'll gain a little knowledge and start being a little bit more better. Hey, no problem, Shirley Martin. I appreciate you. So, like I said, this is, a lawsuit is not something that you ever want to be involved in. If people can avoid a lawsuit, that's what you want to do. Of course, these people didn't seem to want to avoid a lawsuit. That's why they were in the middle of one. And Jeremy was wanting to make sure that he protects what he has, protect his integrity, protect his business, protect the people that he wanted to be around, or he wouldn't have filed a lawsuit. He wouldn't have filed protective orders in another state, his home state where he lives, to make sure that these people stay the hell away from him. as much as they like to scream, that's all about content. It is, if that's the cost of creating content, that's not a good return on investment. I mean, if you think through that logically, that's not a good return on investment. Just saying, a lawsuit in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're wanting to say he's doing it to create content. No. Now, if you wanted to see somebody that's doing the kind of stuff that they're doing to create content, all you have to do is look at the whole what the hell's ecosystem, and you can clearly see the way that they're acting is to create content. That's why they'll gaslight you. That's why they gaslight you. That's why they tell you one thing. That's why they run a grift. Because they're not capable of doing the work. Speaking of work, I've got to get up early tomorrow. Everybody, have a wonderful evening. Be kind to one another. It's not that damn hard. I mean, it can be, but just find a little bit of peace and happiness in all of this, and, you know, get out there, touch some grass. It's springtime. The flowers are blooming. You're getting some beautiful skies. It's going to be hot before you know it. You're not going to want to be out there. This is the time to get frisky. Everybody, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you very, very, very soon. Peace.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen, caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny, so grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy Daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow. Agenda will see me tomorrow. Same obsession, same effing thing.